சார் கேக்குதா சார்? ஹலோ. சார் சார் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடுங்க சார். ஆமா. So good evening everyone. So today good evening everyone. Today we are going to discuss about how that growing technologies of cybersecurity, that how it will be improved and how it can be used for the security purpose, how it can be what are the principles it have and what are the major challenges it have. So that and all things we are going to discuss it in today's session. So first of all, what are the introduction part we are going to see today means. So first, what is in cybersecurity and what are the purpose we have used it that, and what is the whole security goals will be there, and what type of attacks and what type of attackers will be there, and what is the main challenges and what it have a major principles to protect that securities, or to do something about comparing to this uh, cyber securities. Okay, so these things only we are going to discuss in today's session. So first of all, what is cyber security? So actually we are all already know that cyber security is one kind of growing technologies in the current world, right? But it is also having one of the most uh, I mean, in simply we can say cybersecurity. It's kind of two words classifications. Two words means combining that cipher and the security. That both word will have a different meanings. For example, if you are taking a cipher means the cipher, it will have such as uh, it will be defining some technologies like any network or something like that. It has been defined. But security, it will be from the word of cyber is related to the technologies, right? So the same like from the word of security, it has been included the systems security or networks security or else any applications based information security. So these are the things it will have. So what is the main process and what is the main body of these technologies, which is most important to very protective in network and very protective devices programs is very one of the crucial parts in the cyber securities. So here we can prevent lot of the things in this using this cyber security. For example, if I can prevent my information from any cyber thread or something, like I have to do it here. So the same like what are that, I mean, we can also define the cyber security as a set of principles, and it will be having a practices to design and protect our computing resource or any online resource against the threats. Okay, so in our current digital world, due to that lot of heavy dependencies of computers in a modern system or in a modern industry, that we have stored lot of data to the cloud or to the one particular places now. So that has been that transformations, that abundance of this most data. So these are the things are very confidential and very important also. So we need to share something informations to them. One person means they're also doing this, there are don't know if there is any threat will happen or not. So this kind of we have to reduce this, that and all things will done by this cybersecurity only. So the next part is why the most important of cybersecurity, or else why is cybersecurity important. Actually we are all living in the digital era, which means like that we have understand that our private information is more a vulnerable thing, or yeah, more important and crucial that ever before, right? So the same, like we are all connecting together the network from any internet banking or any from government sectors or any infrastructures like that, where the data has been stored. That means it's computers or any other devices. But what is the procedures of we have and what is the important of cybersecurity means a portion of that data, it can be very sensitive informations or personal information or any other type of informations that which is have an unauthorized access or exposures with not any consequence support from negative sides. So we need to prevent these kind of things. So we are all introducing that cyber security. So cyber attack is now one of the most important international concern, right? So we have given many of concern that hacking or other security attackers, that it will be having a most uh, most endanger on the global economies. So these are the things of we have told, like cybersecurity is the volume of cybersecurity securities or volume of cyber attacks. It will be grow by grow every day, and the companies or organization, they especially deal with these of informations. So these related to the national securities or any health securities or financial records, it need to be take steps to protect their sensitive businesses informations or personal informations. So which and all these, mainly we are all focusing that cyber security, it has been preventing our information support from the threats. So this is the main concept, okay, why we have important. And then next, actually history of history of cybersecurity is also they will be there, because of in the earlier 1986 they have they have introducing these kind of technologies to protect our data. So same like it will be currently it will be have more huge number of things, and it will have more huge enormous and affections also it will be have, because many of the people they have updated their own growth based upon this cipher attackers or any cipher hacking, something like they have to do it here. So the next part what we are going to discuss it here, one of the most important part in cipher security. So CIA, what is the meaning of this? CIA means confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So the first one, already we know that what is the objective of cybersecurity is to protect our informations being from or from being any stolen or any attacks, right? So we can measure that cybersecurity, or we can measure the goals of the cybersecurity in the three way. One is protect our confidentiality data, preserve that integrity of data, promote that availability of data which is for an authorized user. So these are the goals which is shortly we can say CIA, which means like a confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So the first thing, what is confidentiality? Okay, so the confidentiality is a roughly equivalent to the privacy or avoids the unauthorized disclosures of informations, which means it will be having like a one preventing our most important data from the privacy attackers or something like it will do. Okay, so this is most important thing, which is I mean, which are the things most helpful for the preventance. So the confidentiality, how we should, I mean, that how, what are the things it will be learning from the users means, so providing access for those who are all allowed to see it while disclaiming or disallowing others, it the learning about based upon that content now. So that are the things which is done by this confidentiality one. One of the best example for this confidentiality is military secrets. Military secrets, it's very confidentiality now, who are all authorized, they only know that secrets, right? The same like confidentiality also. And how we can build the confidentiality and what are the tools will be there for building a confidentiality means, the first thing is an encryption is one of the most important tool, then access control, then authentication, then authorization, then physical security. So first thing is an encryption. So we already know encryption in a simple way. We can say encryption is a unreadable, human unreadable message. So which means that method of transforming informations to make it an unreadable for unauthorized users. So which is done by any cryptographic algorithms or any algorithms. For example, if I am getting any transactions, I going to use for one data for the transformations. I have a one key. Uses that secret key, I can do these formations. So that transformed data can only read by the using other secret key only. Other secret key, which means decryption key. Okay. So this is called, in this way we have protect a sensitive data such as any credit card numbers, or any visiting visa, something like that, portable informations we can securely transferring from one person to another person. Some, these are the things which is most important part of in that encryption part. So actually, by encoding and the transforming data, I already told now, which is I can say in another word, the cipher text. So once we have said that encrypted data, otherwise we can say cipher text. Okay. So this encrypted data can only be read when we have, when we are going to decrypt that file. Okay. So that one, that time only we can do this process. Actually, two types of encryptions will be there. One is asymmetric key and symmetric keys encryptions. Okay. The first one is an access control. So this access control, which is defines the rules and policies for who are all who need to access the system, or who it have a physically permissions for accessing this. So these and all the things which is provided by this access control tool only. So if you want to access one system, if you want to access one data, you need to call, or you need to access here this you need to make it a terms and conditions or policies for this confidentiality. Okay. So for confidential, for making a confidentiality for specific this tool data. So which means like in physical systems, these credentials may come in many forms, but that credentials cannot be transferred when we are providing the most securities now. Okay. So that the thing which is called as an access control. So then authentication. So authentication is a process which is ensure the user's confirmations of identity or role that someone will have or has. Okay. So it can be done in a number of different ways, but when we are used, but it is usually based upon this combination of something a person has any smart card or any key or something a person knows the password, something like, or if you have any fingerprint, these are the things only we have done it, these kind of things. I mean authorizations, sorry, authentications. Then authorization is a security mechanism. So authorization is a security mechanism, so which gives the permissions to do or have something about our data, when which we have used to determine a person or a system. It has been allowed to take a resource, or it has been allowed access to the resources, so that which is based upon the whole access control the policy, that including a computer's programs. So that are the futures which you can be used for here. Okay, so the same thing I am going to use it here also. For during that authorization, a system verifies the authentication's access rules, or either grants or else refuse the resources access. For example, when I'm going to transfer one file to someone person, taking a real-time example, I'm just sharing my Google Drive link to some another person. If they need to access their file, means I'm need to giving a permissions here. So that same process we are going to use here, that authorization module. Okay. So then physical security. So physical security, which describes the measures that designed to deny unauthorized access for IT assets. For example, facilities or equipment or personnel or resources and other properties which can be prevent from our damage. Okay, so it protects these assets from the physical threats, for example, theft or vandalism or fire or natural disasters. So this is called physical security. Okay. Okay. So still we have seen that tools, about what kind of tools we are going to use it, this confidentiality. But next what we are going to see, that second part of security goals in cyber security, integrity. Okay. So integrity, it refers to the method for ensuring the data is real, or it have accurate, or it have a safeguarded from the unauthorized users modifications. So this is where we are using this, or we are approaching the integrity in cybersecurity. Actually, this is also having a some of the tools for the building and integrity. So the first one is in backups, the second one is in checksums and data correcting and availability. That's all. So the first thing, backups. We are all most of the time we are already familiar with backups, this word. So which means backup is a periodic achieving of data, which is helps, or it is used to, it is a process of making a copies of data from to what we have used it for the particular event, when with that original data or the data files are lost or very decrypted, means destroyed, means we can use it here. So it is also to be used and make on simple copies for any historical purposes, such as longitude studies or statistical or any kind of requirements. If you needed, means you can use these backups for that. So taking in any real-time example for these backups, you have to say this WhatsApp. Okay, WhatsApp. It's if you are clicking the daily option, automatically the 2 o'clock it has been every 2 a.m. the WhatsApp will update your server. So that is called as an our backupping time here. Okay, so that checksum. So checksum is a numerical value, that is value is used to verify that integrity of a file or integrity of data transform. Okay, so which is done by any kind of hashing algorithms. For example, MD5 message digest or any SHA-256, some similar like of multiple cryptographic algorithms will be there. Using those algorithms, easily we can check, we can generate the checksums of for this file, for each and every files we can say. In other words, it's a computations of a functions that can be maps the content of a file to a numerical value. Okay, so a checksum of this function, it has been depends on the entire contestants, entire content, or it is designed a way that of even very small changes to that input file. For example, if you are changing one single bit, changing means you just flipping means that will be find out. So this is the different output value when we are going to the checksums. So then data correcting codes. So actually it is a method for storing a data, that's all. Because if you need any change, small changes can be easily detected or automatically corrected. So that is called data auto correcting codes. Okay, so this availability means when you are going to store any data, you can check if it is any availability will be there on the cloud or the specific resources. Okay, so these four tools will help to make integrities in your file systems. Okay, so then final, the A remaining is A, availability. So availability is a property, or is the property in which information is accessible and modifiable in that very fashionably time, because some of the authorized persons also they have do this doing done. Okay, it is a guarantee of reliable and the constant access to our sensitive data by the unauthorized people. Okay, so here what are the tools they have used for this availability? One is physical protection, another one is computational redundancies. So physical protection, which means physically we can say the safeguard, which means to keep information available even in the event of physical challenges also. Okay, so it ensures the sensitive informations and the critical informations technologies when we are housed in the security areas. So physically protections means we have for taking a data center. One of the most important example for this physically protections, data centers, because they have most protectively they have built their data centers. Data centers means where we can stay the server places now, that it will be called as an data centers. So then physical protections. So physical protection, which means, sorry, computational redundancies. So computational redundancy is a fault tolerant against the accident tolerance. It has been protected the computers and the storages devices that is from serve as a fallbacks. So in the case of failures only, it has been done. Okay. Okay. The next part. So most important part in this current future generations. So what are the types of attacks will be there? So one is web based, another one is system based. So actually before entering to these cyber types of attacks, a cipher attacks is an explanation of computer systems or networks. Uh, it is used as a malicious code to after the compiler computer code or any logicals the data and the lead to the cybercrime or cybercrime such as an informations or any identity theft. So these are the things which is helpful for do these kind of works. Okay, so this is the most important in this digital era, because nowadays most of the people using a computer and the internet only. So due to this dependencies of reasons, we need to more work out on this cyber security of preventing that attacks. Okay, so there will be a two types of attacks will be there. So the first one is an web based and system based attacks. So web based, which means Here, a attack which is occurred on a website or which is occurred on a web application, which is called as a web-based attacks. So, what are the types it will have means? First one is an injections attacks, then DNS modifying, sorry, yeah, then session hijacking, and last one is planning. Okay, so these are the things which is help sorry phishing. So phishing is a type of attack which is attempt to steal a sensitive informations like users login credentials or any credit card numbers. So that bank oriented information, if they needed, they can easily take it using these phishing attacks. Okay, that first thing is then how the SQL injection will happen. So SQL injection, it's just an example only, but injection attacks is a main concept. There will be a multiple of attacks of injections will be there. We know about this SQL injections only, but similar like code injections and log injection and XML injections, etc., we can say these like of injections will be there in the cyber security mode. Okay, so what is that information injection attacks, which means it is that attack. Okay, so which some data will be injected into or through the web application to manipulate the applications and to manipulate this fetches where it can be recorded now. So that those things will most important. Okay, next one is an DNS spoofing. So DNS spoofing is a one prototype of computer security hacking, where data can be introduced into the DNS means DNS domain name server means it can be resolved the cache caching the name server to return an incorrect IP address, diverting traffic to the attackers. So these all the things which is done this kind of DNSs only. Okay, so DNS means domain name servers. Then session hijacking. So session hijacking means it is a security of an as it is a security attack on user selections web protected network. So web application it can be created a cooking or stealing the cookies, or an attacker can have access to all of these users data. For example, if I am going to my bank, I am going to my bank for the purpose of visiting my friends problems. So where if it is problem will came for the friends only, but that injections of SQL sorry DNS spoofing similar sorry SQL session hijacking, it is similar like to that of scenario which I shared you. Okay, so the same process which is applicable for this hijacking also. Okay, so the next is an phishing websites. So phishing website means it's one type of an attacker attacks. Already we know that. Once again I will repeat too. So it one type of attacks which is attempts to steal our sensitive informations from or else such as we can say the login credentials or credit card numbers. So these are the data. It will occurs when an attacker is an trustworthy entry in the electronic communications. Then only it is possible to this kind of phishing websites attacks. So then brute force attack. So it is a type of attack which is uses a trial and error method. So trial and error method means that attack will be learned, and from that it will be do some actions, and it will be getting any error means from that error it will be learned. So after that automatically it has been find out the solution, then it has been moved on the next attack. Okay, so the same we have that same technique which is used for this brute force attack. So this attacks generates a large number of guesses and validates them to obtain our actual data like a user's passwords or personal identifications number. So this attack may be used by the criminals to crack that encrypt data or any securities analysis to test then organizations of network securities. Okay, so this is called as a brute force of attack. Then DOS is called as a denial of services. So it is an attack which meant to make a server or to network resource which is the network resource which is unavailable to the users, means it is accomplishes. For example, if you are flowing with the one target, flooding the target with the traffic or sending it informations that can be triggers a crash means like when I'm going to send one data, but when it has been transformation time, it will be having a more traffic. Okay, so in that kind of situation it can be crashed, means that will be most important informations. Okay, then if some similar like multiple of similar attacks will be there, dictionary attacks or URL interpretations, file inclusion attacks, and one of the most important is man in the middle attack. So man in the middle attack means is a type of attacks that allows an attacker to the intercepted the connections between client and the server. Okay, because they have acting like a bridge between them. For example, due to this an attacker will be read and insert or modify the data interceptor connections only. Okay, so then next type of attack. So still we have seen or we have discussed with the first one, that is called as a web-based attack. The second one is a system-based attack. So these are the attacks or which is intended to compromise a computer or a computer network or some of the important system-based attacks. Okay, so I just listed out some of them here. One is virus and worm, Trojan horse, backdoors, bots. So first thing is an virus. So virus already you know that you can create the word, you can see hear the word in most of the places. So that virus is a one type of malicious program that it will be that software program it spread thought process to computer files without the knowledge of users. This is will happen when we are going with the virus, because when I am creating one virus, I have transferred to the computer. So this it will be going directly to attack the file without the knowledge, without the known persons also they cannot, they don't know, right? So this is called as a virus. The next, worm and Trojan horse. So worm is a type of malware, but a whole primary function is replicated itself when it's spread or when it is an infected computer's time only. It will be working on the same as a computer virus, and that same we have used it at Trojan horse also. So Trojan horse, it's a malicious horse. So this malicious horse that occurs an unexpected challenges. For example, when I am going to take put any computer settings or put any unusual activities, means even when the computer should be an ideally state only. Okay, so this is called as an Trojan. Whatever the attack you happen, but it won't to be see or it won't to be know about the front end users. Okay, so then backdoors is a method that can be bypasses the normal authentications process. When the developer create a backdoor that so that that application or operating system can be accessed for the troubleshooting or other purposes. Okay, then bots, a short form of robot, which is called as a bot. Okay, so it is an automated process that interacts with other network services. So some bots are run automatically while we have to, or while other works only executed when we have put it some of the commands or when they are receiving specific inputs now, so that time only it will be appear. So common examples of parts program, it's a crawler or any chat room parts or any malicious parts is like that only. So still we have discussed these are the things of types of attacks will be there. So the next we are going to discuss about what is cyber attacks, hackers. I mean cyber attackers, and what are the cyber attackers will be there. So cyber attackers means in our modern world, in computer or computer networks, an attackers is an individual or organization who performs that malicious activity to destroy the expose or file or alter. So what kind of they have do without that unauthorized access now. So they are called as an hack attackers. So here, what is the four different types of attacks will be there? Sorry, types of attackers will be there means first one is an cyber criminal, then activities, then state sponsors attackers and insider threats. First one is an cyber criminals. So cyber criminals, a cyber criminal are individual or group of people who use the technology to commit the cyber crime with the intention of stealing a sensitive company information or any person's personal info data or generating some profits. Okay, so well we are going with this PUBG, there will be a lot of hackers will be there now. So that hackers or that and all they have do these kind of cyber criminals only. Actually, cyber criminals uses computers in a three broad ways to do these cyber crimes. First one is an select computer as their target, then uses that computer as their weapon, then uses the computer as their accessory also. Okay, so these are the three things which is most important in the cyber crimes, which is done it, which is rotated by day. Okay, so the next is then hack visits. Hack visits means hack are, we can say they are also doing the same process what we have seen in the cyber criminals, but here who carried out who carried out the group of hackers or individual that malicious activity to promote the political agenda or religious belief or any social ideology. According to the Dan Loremon, we can see these kind of chief securities of officers. Okay, so these all kind of informations it has been done and see themselves only. Fighting injustice, it is a word of hack visits. Okay, hack visit is a digital obedience. It is a hacking or it is a hacking for a cause or not like a cyber criminals who can computer networks, they have to steal for data for the crash only. Okay, then insider threats which is called as an the threat to an organization security or the data which is comes from the within the day. So these type of threats are usually occurred from employees for an or former employees, but may also arise the third party means including the contractor or the temporary workers or the employee or customers. Okay, so they are also included. So inside threats we can specify it into the three manner, I mean three different types. So the first one is an malicious, the second one is an accidental, the third one is an negligent. Okay, so first one is an malicious. So malicious is a threat or attempt by a very harm organizations data systems or any IT infrastructures. Okay, so this inside these insider threats that ex employees who believe that an organization was doing something wrong within them the some way, right? So they feel justified seeking revenge also. So this is the process which is called as an malicious. Okay, then accidental which is called as an the threats or which is or accidentally done by the insider employers only, sorry, done by or which is employees try to avoid this policy of an organization, put it into a single place, and they have to protect the endpoints, and they have to given the valuable data also. Okay, next one is an negligent. So negligent, which means, so from the word easily we can understand the negligent. So these are the threats in which employees try to avoid the policies or policies for an organizations. We can put it a place to protect that data, right? So these are the most informations which we have tried to protect our network or try to protect our internet uh, based upon these kind of type of attackers. Okay, so the next we are going to see about security principles or security principle or principles of cyber securities. We can say it in C word of something word. Okay, so the first thing is an, I'm just listed out some of the things here because here a lot of 10 words, 10 principles will be there. So first thing I'm going to discuss with, first thing I'm going to discuss with economy of mechanisms. So that economy of mechanism, which means it have some principles or it have some principal states that security mechanisms should be as simple and small as a possible, which means like if you have one if you have one principle means you have to make it a simple way, and you have to make a simple policies for making a securities, which is called as an cyber security goals. The first goal of security mechanism, economy of mechanism. So interfaces between the security models or suspect area, which should be as simple as possible also. Okay, so because interface modules of taken, I mean interface models which is taken or which often make implicit assumptions about your inputs or outputs parameters of your current data. So the same thing we have any, this of assumption is wrong means the modules of actions may produce that unexpected results. So faculty of security frameworks, they have understanding by security developers or their users enables formats. Okay, so then what we have seen about the second part. So second, the most important, we are going to discuss open design. So this open design is, this principle states that the security of mechanism should not be dependent on the secret of data where it designs or where it implementations. So it suggests the complexity does not add or does not add the securities. Okay, so this principle, the opposite of approaches known as in security throws opacity. Okay, so this principle will not only applies to the information such as password or any cryptographic system, it is also suitable for the computer security related operations. For example, DVD player or constant scrambling system protections. So the CSS is a cryptographic algorithms that protects the DVD movie discs from any unauthorized copy, which means like a piracy, something like. Okay, so same like most of the probability will be there. I mean, some of the permissions also there. Here you can see least privilege and the work factors. So least common mechanism, which means like I'm just giving an example. If there is a need to be accessed a file or access a application by more than one user means then these users should be use a separate channels for accessing these files or these any application. So this is called as a least most common mechanism. Then psychological acceptability, then work factor, and one of the most important principle, work factor. So the principle that have states that the cost of circumventing a security mechanism should be compared with the resources of potential attacker when designing a security scheme. So in some cases, the cost of circumventing of that, which means like a known as a work factor, so which can be easily calculated. In we can say in another word, the work factor is a common cryptographic measures which is used to common cryptographic determine to strength of the given cipher. Okay. So for example, I can say already say now that hash generation, that are the things. Okay. Okay, so the next, the final part, which we have discussed it in today's session, which is challenges. So, what are the main challenges it has been faced with the cyber security? Okay, actually, may not be that lot of content will be the, but the challenges is most important. So, challenges. What are the challenges that the cyber security will face current? One is ransomware evaluation, then blockchain revaluation, then IoT threats and AI expansion and serverless apps vulnerability. Okay, so first we are going to see ransomware evaluation. So actually, ransomware is a type of malware. Okay, so in which is the data victim's computer is locked or any payment is demanded means before the ransom data is unlocked. So after successful data or after successful the payment, after successful payment, access rights that return to the victim. Okay, so this process will called as a ransomware evaluation. Actually, the ransomware it's the ban of cybersecurity or any data professionals or any IT infrastructure. These are the executives they have used it here. Okay, so ransomware attacks are growing day by day. The cipher areas of cyber crime, something like they have to do. Okay, so the next one is an blockchain revaluation. We already know that one of the most important security in this blockchain, I mean in our current world, is blockchain only, because blockchain it have a very huge enormous supports. Okay, huge enormous support means like huge enormous support, which means like they have I mean the particular blockchain it will have a very huge amount of technologies to prevent the securities from variety of attacks and variety of threats it can be prevented. Okay, uh, so these are the things of most important challenges in this blockchain. Okay, so here you can the same we have discussed it, blockchain how important it here, because already we know that blockchain how it will be having a most important because the cyber security how it will be growing means the same process, the blockchain it's a the blockchain which is called as a next digital era. So comparing to the cyber security, blockchain is most day by day that updations is most rapidly it has been increased, right? So that is the most important challenges for this blockchain. Sorry, important challenges for cyber security. The next challenges is IoT threats. Currently in this world, all the threads, most of the devices will devices will connected through that internet only. So in that internet we can transmit any kind of for example, if I am using one mobile, it's a hardware, my friend has been using one mobile, so that transformations will be that depends on the two devices. So if there is any attacks or in that system, it is not interrelated to the physical devices, means which can be accessible through the internet. So the connected of physical devices, it will be having a unique identifier. Based upon that only, they have a ability to transfer the data over the network without any requirements of the human to human or human to computer interactions. So these are all the most important challenges in this cyber security. Okay, from the IoT side, I told. So the next part, AI expansions. So whatever we discussed in the blockchain revaluation, the same purpose here also. So here, how it will be differ means, so you can see the blockchain, it is a, we can say it's a next internet era. The same purpose of we have to apply it here, that when IoT were designed, it is not or considered in a mind upset now. The same like that artificial intelligence, it will have an area of computer science, which is the creations of intelligent machines that to work, it will be react like a humans. So some of the activities which is most related to that artificial intelligence, for example, such as an speech recognitions, or any learning or any planning or problem solving. The key benefits of artificial intelligence, it is into our cybersecurity strategies also, because it has the ability to protect that environment. um, at the same time, it will be having a when we have taken a malicious attacks also, it has been predicted. So nowadays currently we have developing some of the machine learnings for specific, for where the attack has been happened, if it is any malware or if it is any non-malware data will be there from the past experiences of data we have collected now. The same thing which is we have done it here in this system also. So the same AI expansion and the blockchain, they have most growing technology. So comparing other challenges, blockchain and this evaluation is AI expansion is most important challenges for cyber security. Okay, so then a final in this final session we are going to discuss serverless apps vulnerability. So this serverless apps vulnerability is an architecture that apps is an applications which is depends on the third party of cloud infrastructure or any backend service such as Google Cloud or any Amazon Web Services, etc., etc. So this serverless apps, it will invite the I mean, it will invite the cyber attackers to spread the threats on their systems easily, because the users can, I mean, because the users access that applications locally or off server on their devices. So therefore it is a user's responsibility for the security precautions while using serverless applications. Okay, so the serverless apps, it will do something to keep that attackers away from our data. So the serverless application does not help if any attacker gaining some of accessing to our data or vulnerability, such as when it leaked or when it is credentials. So these are compromised inside these or inside by any other, means that will be called as an serverless apps. So these are the things when we can run the software of the application which provides the best chance to detect the cyber criminals. Okay, so I hope you will be gaining some of the knowledges about these cyber securities. So do you have any doubts regarding about this? You can ask it in the command box. I can reply it for you. Yeah, if you are if you have going with this transfer, if you need to transfer the data very easily, means you have to use these kind of cyber securities things, which is very help. Yeah, okay. So do you all have any doubts? You just ask it in the chat box. So chat box means command boxes. So otherwise I just end up the session now. Yeah, I just end up the session now. Okay.